Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Sarah Lipton. I am the director here at the Montpelier Senior Activity Center. It's wonderful to see all of you here for what I know is going to be a wonderful and exciting event. We're so happy to have all of these Osher lectures coming back. We've missed having all of you here. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what's going on here at the Senior Center, since here you are, and I have a captive audience. So, so this month is March, obviously, and it's March for Meals Month. Mayor Watson is actually submitting a proclamation to City Council tonight, proclaiming that March is March for Meals Month, which basically means we are focused on highlighting and spotlighting the importance and the essentialness of our Meals on Wheels program, which we offer through our Feast Senior Meals program. Every year we serve between 16 and 18,000 meals to our community of older adults who are at home. Because of the pandemic, we've been able to open that up a little bit and serve more people who might just need one nutritious, delicious meal a day. So I wanted to let you know about that because we're actually going to be doing a much bigger celebration later this month. The week of March 21st through the 25th is our Community Champion Week. If anyone wants to be part of it by delivering a meal or donating to our program, we welcome that. We also invite you to engage if you're interested. On Thursday, March 4th, the Kellogg Hubbard Library is doing an all-ages family story time online, and there's also a little rock music that's going to be performed, and a little Wilder Art Studios doing an online baking show. So that's one thing on Thursday, March 24th. On Friday, March 25th, we invite any of you to sign up for a delicious take-home dinner. Our chef is preparing a Mediterranean dinner for pickup on Friday, March 25th. And when you buy that, you also get a ticket for a really special online performance that I'm pulling together. We've got the Montpelier Gospel Choir opening up with a song. We've got local leaders in food security like John Sales, Sue Minter from Capstone. John Sales is the director of the Vermont Food Bank. We've got Mary Woodruff from Dale and others who will be joining me for a conversation about the importance of food security. And then I've got a special guest star coming in from, well, he's going to be filming from Bali, but he lives in Oakland. His name is Justin Michael Williams, and he's an amazing musician, author, performer, inspirational speaker. So please check out our website. We've got flyers, and we'd love to have your help with our celebration for March for Meals. And I think with that, I'm going to hand it off. Enjoy the afternoon.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ginny Callan. Excuse me. I want to welcome you all today and give thanks to the Montpelier Senior Center who hosts us generously. And we love being here, and we love seeing all of you back in full form, soon maybe even without masks, who knows. I also wanted to note that we have a planning committee that coordinates this local series. It's Edie, Grace, Bob, Michelle, and Priscilla. And we welcome your ideas for other talks and presenters. Love to hear suggestions. And if you want to be on the planning committee, there's always room for a few more. So feel free to grab one of us. We still have 4 more presentations after today and 3 films following that Rick Winston has chosen and will be showing to us, an On the Road series. Next week is, and I might not pronounce her first name right, Kekla Magoon. She's the author of Revolution in Our Time, the Black Panther Party's Promise to the People. And there was recently an article in The Bridge about her book and an interview that Tom McCone did. And it sounds really fascinating. I think that'll be terrific. So thanks for coming today. I'm going to introduce Sue. She's going to speak briefly. We're going to show the film and then open it up to questions and answers, and Sue will probably talk some more. We can't do questions while the film is showing. Strategically, it doesn't work well with the sound system, so just try to keep your questions and comments for after the show, which I think is the film's about 20 minutes? 30 minutes, yep. Okay, so filmmaker Sue Bettman makes documentaries focused on Vermont artists, musicians, poets, theater makers, and others. Her films showcase the beauty of Vermont's landscape. Sue came to filmmaking after a long career in Lifetime Theater. Some of her films are Beyond 88 Keys, the music of Michael Arnowit, who I think many of you are familiar with, Bread, Peter Schumann and Sourdough Rye Bread, who many of us have also been in awe of in their performances as well as the bread, and a birthday tribute to David Budbill, the poet and writer. You may recognize Sue from times behind the camera because she also works for Orca Media and often is filming these events for us. Today she's one of our presenters. Past OLI presentations can be viewed on the Orca website. So thank you, Sue, for being here today and all of you for coming, and we look forward to seeing you for many more. And the listing of all the events is right here.
Okay, well, thank you, Ginny, and thank you all for being here. Very nice to see you, and I appreciate the warm welcome. It's a little awkward for me not to be behind the camera, but in front of it, so, bear with me. This film, I started filming this footage in 2007, and I never got around to editing. And then we had the pandemic, and there wasn't anything else to do. So I finally finished it about a year and a half ago. And it's a local character. I'm not sure what else to say about it, but I hope you enjoy it, and we can talk more after the screening. So,
Lights?
yeah.
Come down hard on the wrong side of the law. Oh, but I was young, I never hurt no one. Found my way, kept my face to the sun, down from Canada. One old man, oh, he treated me kind. That old man never got nowhere, just the end of a saw and the cry of a logger's prayer. Get home tonight.
I like the old ways a lot. I would like to see things back in the 30s. I like a lot, like the old cars. I like it kind of hard, I don't like it easy. Like.
You mean life?
When I work in the woods, I work just like the way I am. No earplugs, no chat pants, no helmet. No.
Your hearing is still good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And come the day when the snow comes down and the river cold and the ice froze all around, and it ain't no good, damn fool goes anyway. Grave in the woods, me and the horse just walk away, and the horse don't cry.
Your dad spoke French to you or spoke English?
No, French.
He spoke French
Yeah.
too. So do you speak French?
No.
Do you understand
Yeah, I
it?
understand it. But I mean, when I went to school, like, you lost it more because you spoke the other way.
Your mom would speak English to you.
Yeah, because we went to school. My father didn't like it too much because he wanted her to talk the other way to us.
Did your dad have Abenaki blood too?
Yeah, he did too, and my mother a lot.
Your mom was smart. Hey, she could do numbers. She could
Yeah, she
add
could
up
do enough
figures. She
script.
could read and write. And
She used to make bill of sales for us every time we traded.
she had a hard life.
Yeah, she worked. She worked what is like in the hayfield, all that.
Just feeding and doing the laundry for 12 kids is
Yeah.
just.
But she was in the fields through them all the time. She never got mad at us or nothing about things. I work outside. Usually I don't work with a coat on. I don't need much clothes, right? I adapt myself to the weather outside. I used to like the machine work outside, running the machinery.
But your dad, now he preferred horses, didn't he?
Yeah. Him and my uncle used to be in the woods cutting the trees, getting them ready. And after I used to bring the hitches down with a tractor. When I got older, I got to drive the truck. I used to love that. Drive the truck with low logs on it. So I like cutting them down, skid them out. That's the best part. Yeah, it's just blocking them up and splitting them takes a while. See, when I got out of school, I think I was about 16.
Did you graduate 8th grade?
Yeah.
A lot of kids didn't graduate 8th grade back then, didn't
Yeah.
they? Do
Like I went work in the woods.
you remember how old you were when going with your dad to work in the woods?
Well, I think, see, maybe I was about 13.
And did you want to?
Well, I had to.
Yeah.
If I
It
didn't want
wasn't-
to or not.
He didn't ask you, do you want to come work in the woods?
No, he just went.
You just went.
Yeah. But then when I got a certain age, I realized when I didn't go to high school, I missed it, you know, because I didn't go to school. Then I found out I didn't have no funds no more. So
Yeah.
it was kind of hard, so.
You always liked machinery?
Yeah, I always used to try to make things when I was a kid. I used to take an apple box, remember them apple crate box? Then take some 2x4s and stuff and make myself a little go-kart like. Then you use big spikes for the wheels to nail the wheels on. Then you used to use, a tomato can. You cut off the top of the cover for the headlights and nail them in. You had to make your own stuff back then because people didn't put stuff inside the road.
I come down from Canada, come down hard on the wrong side of the law. Oh, but I was young, I never hurt no one. Found my way, kept my face to the sun down from Canada.
I sell over maybe 200 and something cords, just in between other work I do too. I had this place filled, went up to there, all that in front, so I ain't even half done. So I always work out there. Some people say they can't find no work, but I always found, so I always work, I never seem to run out of it. Don't have to advertise for it either.
So tell me the best trade you ever made.
Well, I don't know, I think they're all good. I used to love to go to a lot of lawn sales. Just Burlington all over, Middlebury, Virginia, Swan.
Yeah.
I got that nice brand new Toyota with the extra cab, 4-wheel drive. Then I ran that for quite a few years. Then I sold it to email for $8,500. Took the money and put it on the tractor. I put so much money down on a tractor to trade in my Kubota. They gave me $9,000 for that Kubota. So I got a good trade. Then in 4 years the tractor will be paid, so it ain't bad. Maybe I'll slow down from working in 4 years, so like this. While I still can work, I want it paid off in 4 years. If you sell somebody something to knock off a little bit, and they'll buy it quicker. But some people, they hold the same price and they're stuck with it after. One guy had a picture, he painted them pictures, and him and some other woman brought him somewhere to an art place, and some guy offered him a price. If he just knocked off $50, the guy would have bought the picture. But now he's still stuck with it. And he said he should have bought me there with him. Because they think, well, people will pay that extra $50, but they won't. You knock it off. It makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
now. I'm getting older now. Birthday's Sunday. Yeah, see, what is it? Yeah, Sunday.
Is it? How old are
Yeah.
you gonna be?
Almost 62.
So what year were you born?
1945
Where?
on Berry. I started mowing fields when I was 13 years old. I mow it down with my old tractor. It's about maybe a 39.
A sidebar?
Yeah.
One that-
I mowed a whole field with Stephenson's with it, and I paid $800 for that tractor.
There's the tractor and the mower with it?
Yeah, mower, then a set of plows. It's
Yeah.
an old Farmall International is a Cub. See, I got the rake and I got the baler, because the baler didn't want no more, and I traded the guy some hay for the baler. The first year I mowed it, paid for itself.
To rake on one day and then bale the next or something?
No, you rake it the same day and you got to bale it. If it don't, if it rains on you, you're in trouble afterwards. I ain't gonna rake a bale of this because you got to take the whole mower off. It's a lot of work to take this one off.
You know, they talk about people being book smart.
Yeah,
Those are the people that learn it out of a book.
yeah.
And then there's people like you that don't learn it out of a book. They just learn it by studying it.
But just figuring it out. Common sense, we call it. I think I got a lot of that common sense. I know what kind of feeling the machines got. They mean something to me. Like they're like alive to me more. Like it's something that if you take care of something, it takes care of you. When you work a machine, you can do a lot with it. You can help it out, not just think it's supposed to do it by itself. Like you can get the feel of it, what it's supposed to do, and all that. You know, I got feelings for the machine.
must have had a project you wanted to do, but you didn't understand all the mechanics for it? Or did you always just figure it out on your
Yeah,
own?
just figure it out after a while.
That seems like magic to me.
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you figure it out?
Well, you just look at it and you're supposed to know how it works. If I'm in the field working with my tractor, something like that, I always fix it up to get by, like
Yeah.
MacGyver does.
Yeah, like MacGyver does,
You
yeah.
can fix things to get by. So that way I can do it too, anyhow.
So you'll just jimmy rig it till you can
Yeah.
get it home and fix it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can almost do anything like that.
Because the baler can be kind of cranky sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't learn this from the book. I just learned it for myself because I always loved working on stuff, my own stuff. I never work on people's stuff.
You didn't learn it all by yourself. You watched somebody else do it?
You know what? My father and uncle.
You were working on this until 11 o'clock last night?
Not over here. I had to bring it home. I don't know. I worked here till up past 6. It started getting dark, so I had to get it out of here. 'Cause I figured I could get it home and work on it some more. I always like working by myself. And if you make extra, like if you make something, you can put it away and you can buy something with it instead of give it out to somebody else. Then you're wearing the machine out faster too. If you got a conveyor, drop it in your truck, you got to put more in because it don't release too much air hole. You shoot it in by hand, it's a lot different because it fits in there, packs in better.
How long does it take you to load a truck worth of wood by hand?
Shooting it in maybe about 20 minutes to half an hour.
A cord of wood,
Yeah.
that's fast.
That's fast.
No, it don't take long. You don't stop. Some people will stop, take a break all the time. The road way over towards Waitsfield, some guy seen me, so he stopped me, he wanted to buy some wood because he seen how nice I had it piled, because it was all piled neat. It's ways to pile wood, you know. Some people just, I don't like the way they pile wood, they just drop it on top of the iron. I always make it fit good, then it don't fall out. You can go along, not lose nothing. Some people pile it and they just drop it on the pile. It ain't the way to pile wood.
You're still in good shape, still working hard, still working all by yourself, but you're kind of the last of the breed. There's been so many changes that have come to town, so many changes that you've seen in your life. What's the biggest change you think you've seen?
Well, on the farms, it's all houses are there now,
Yeah.
you know, in the field. People are different. You can't live, you don't live on your land no more like they used to, you know.
Don't
Used
live
to
off
farm
of it.
on it and sugar on it and cut some logs on it to pay your taxes. You know, you could live on it. If I had to go move another state or something, like I would get weak over here, I get my strength, like, gives me strength over here or something.
From the place itself?
Yeah, from the places, the whole town.
So you kind of get your strength right from being here in
Yeah,
Middlesex
being
where
here.
you grew up?
Yeah,
It's the land that gives that to you?
it's just, I'm used to, I know what to do.
As I walked out one evening into a small cafe, a 40-year-old waitress to me these words did say, I know you are a logger, not just a common bum, for no one but a logger stirs his coffee with his thumb. For no one but a logger stirs his coffee with his thumb.
So, thank you very much. Just looking at it, I realized that one of the things I liked about doing the filming was watching things turn from one thing to another, like grass turning into hay, turning into bales, and stuff like that. And also when I first started filming him, I just was fascinated by his accent, and I thought it was very musical. And I thought of calling the film Vanishing Music, because you don't hear that kind of accent anymore. So those are just a couple of things that piqued my interest about him. And I also liked that he would fool around. He liked having a little audience.
He looked like he was showing off at times.
Yeah, and he was. Yeah. So, do you have any questions?
I know that when you want to film a performer, of course they want to be on film. So I'm curious how you found Joe, how you approached him to do this project.
Well, he was cutting wood on my land. He was cutting firewood. And he actually asked me to film him. Yeah, because he appreciated that nobody else was doing this kind of stuff anymore. Yeah, and he had his own camera, and he asked me to film it, and so I did. Then I used my camera to get a different, more up-to-date take on things.
The highest payment for unemployment compensation, number one is fishing. Number two is logging. There's a lot of accidents and injuries when you're logging. I was surprised to see him. Boy, he was really good with what he was doing, but it's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but he started when he was 13, and probably younger, actually. And so he was careful, he would jump around on these piles of logs and stuff, but he had really good balance, and he was flexible. I saw him jump from the top of that big log truck. He would just jump down onto the ground, and he was fine. He said, "Welcome to my office." Yeah.
Beautiful film and beautiful land. When I moved here 37 years ago, I wanted to buy land for a retirement house. And so with a friend from Connecticut, we bought 100 acres of land from the Picard family, right up in the beautiful spots in the show. Emil was the man that took me around the woods, and it was wonderful to see the bear habitat and ferns and everything, the rock formations, some very amazing standing stones that they call the Devil's Tombstone. And I finally ended up buying land. And Emil said to me, it was the nicest compliment I think I ever had. Well, you're a Vermonters, where to go, which is, I was kind of in Jersey. Anyway. And then after I owned the land, I would go back and walk into occasionally and see them. And I said, well, he asked me first, are you going to put up no hunting signs? I said, no. He said, my family has always hunted there. I said, well, keep right on. I'd be happy if you took as many deer as you could, because there are way too many destroying the forest. But I'd rather not have a bear's shot, because I appreciate their being there. And so the next time I saw him, he said, some bear hunters showed up. Send them over to East Montpelier.
Yeah. they have a lot of stories about Middlesex.
As somebody who's had wood from standing, that takes a tremendous amount of strength when you're using that chainsaw with one hand to keep it from bucking. I mean, I need both hands embraced to do it. I was just impressed with, he said he was in his 60s and it takes a lot of strength to do that.
Yeah, but again, he knew what he was doing. You know, he knew how much strength to use and when to relax. He was smart about it.
Those big gas powered chainsaws are heavy. I just keep thinking about putting it up there.
Yeah, some people who've seen this movie, especially guys, say, that was really scary. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, he's still wonderful. Last month, we were out of town and had a furnace emergency, and smoke was billowing out of the house, and the neighbors called Joe, and he came and dug the place out in no time. We had just had that 2-foot snowfall, and even by hand, they wanted to bring a snowblower to help. He said, "Oh no." So he was still.
That's great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
How does Joe like the movie?
He liked it. Yeah, he liked it. You know, I think he's proud of his work, so, you know, he was glad that it was preserved. His kids liked it too, so it was good.
So could you talk about how you came up with the questions that you were asking and the themes? And I mean, some of it's clearly you took us through the seasons, but the role of the interviewers, which was, you know, I recognize the three voices because I know the three women starting out with Sarah Seaman, which were wonderful, and they seemed to have a respect from him and of him, which I think was important. But if you just talk a little bit about those relationships and questions.
Well, you know, just trying to put a personal connection in there. Sarah had she was doing the interview on behalf of the Middlesex Historical Society, and she had also interviewed his mom, not his father, but his mom, who lived to be 90, and you know, so that was very interesting. There was a connection. She kept trying to talk about his parents, and he kept trying to talk about himself. Which was sort of what I wanted her to, you know, focus more on him and his work, but she had this other idea. Anyway. Ellison?
You said his children like so was he married or his children or what?
He was married. At that time, he had a new girlfriend. You might have noticed that at the beginning he had a ponytail, and at the end he had braids. The girlfriend braided his hair for him. But he was married. He had 3 kids. They all still live around here.
Do they work though, Ed?
Pardon?
Do the children work though, Ed?
No. No.
So it really is talking there.
One of them works for the state. One of them does healthcare assistance, like private duty nursing and lawn care. So yeah, she's sort of still engaged with the land. And
Lawn care is slightly different.
you know, yeah, it is. Yeah. So, yeah, did you back there?
I'm just going to say, I've come to know Carol, his daughter, pretty well, and you know, she works the land, she'll do anything. She is definitely Joe's daughter.
Yeah.
So last summer, I needed a boulder remover for some reason, and nobody else would do it. And Joe and Carol came out, and it was an incredibly difficult thing. You needed a front loader and prongs and everything. And he got out there with a chainsaw, using it with one hand, and he looks like a 16-year-old when he has a chainsaw in his hand. And he got the job done. But a really nice story is when we bought land up here 7 or 8 years ago, newcomers, I had been flying in and, you know, renting a car and wasting money that way. So one day I just said, well, I'm just going to buy a jalopy on the side of the road. So we did. And About our first week here, I stopped to talk to some neighbors in the road and turned off the car and it died. And so up comes Joe, and oh goodness, here's an old timer in a truck that was completely full of wood. And I thought, oh, I'm such an idiot. And I should have pulled my car over, but it was parked right in the middle of Bear Swamp Road, dirt road, feet from my driveway, but I wasn't smart enough to move it over first, and there I was stuck. So Joe gets out and he just said, I'll help you, and he did. He pulled it over and become what I'd like to think of as 7 years of friendship. I buy my work from Joe. I love him and his daughter, and met his other daughter, Joanne. But Carol, Joanne is quite a hunter, and Carol is everything. She'll do, and she does have a small farm, and she works the land. She does everything. So, yeah, wonderful story. Yeah. Second from everybody else. Amazing.
Yeah, thanks for that. Cindy?
The movie said that he had 12 children in his family that he grew up in. Does he, do his brothers or sisters, do they do this kind of thing? Are they around and in touch?
Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them do land stuff. Yeah. Do you guys have anything about stories about Joe?
Not stories, but he said he was born in Barrie. But you mentioned at the beginning, or someone did, that his folks were from Canada and Abenaki.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you knew what.
We can't hear over here.
Oh, sorry. He said he was born in Barrie.
Yes.
But it was mentioned that his ancestors were French, Canadian, and Abenaki, and I was wondering if you knew what part of Canada they were from?
I don't know about his mother, but his father was from a very small village just across the border from New Hampshire. And I actually got to see his birth certificate, and it said he was English. Because he didn't speak English. He spoke French, but it was part of the Dominion of under the British Empire. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think his mother might have actually been born in the States. You'd have to ask Sarah Siegman about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a quick story about Joe and Johnny. Back in the early 70s, I was working on putting up a log cabin on the Brook Road and logging pine for the cabin, and then cutting blocks and putting the pieces, these like 24-foot logs, maybe 20 inches in diameter, skinning them to dry them. So one of them fell off the blocks I put it up on, and I'm standing at it, and Joe and Johnny happened to be going by, and we're about the same age. So they come up there, and we're standing around, my wife and I, looking at this, trying to figure out how we're going to get this back up on the blocks. And we told them, we passed the time of day. And so they wondered why we're standing there. We said, well, we're trying to figure out a way to pry this and get this somehow up. And they looked at each other like, couldn't figure out what's the And they got on either end of the log and lifted it up and put it up on the
That's great.
Terrific. So I have copies of this film and a couple of other films that I made. Some of you might have seen Beyond 88 Keys about Michael Arnowit. That was when he lived here, concert pianist, and some one about Peter Schumann of the Bread and Puppet Theater baking bread, and another one that was a birthday tribute to the poet David Budbill. That was a number of fellow poets and actors and musicians, including Rusty Deweese.
Was this the one at Lost Nation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And just paying tribute to David on his birthday. So I have them over there if you're interested, and I hope you are. And thank you so much for having me here.